The man from the district smiled and asked, "Which one of you called 911?" None of us moved because none of us had called anyone. Mr. Aldridge had been sitting in the back of our room all morning, clipboard on his knee, here to observe classroom safety procedures, our teacher Ms. Calloway had told us. Now he was standing, and he'd locked the door, and he was still smiling. "It's part of the drill," he said. "When the alarm goes off, somebody always panics and dials out. I just need to know who." Nobody answered. Ms. Calloway stood up from her desk slowly, the way you stand up around a wasp. "There's no drill scheduled today," she said. Her voice was light, but her hand was flat on the desk like she needed it to stay steady. Mr. Aldridge's smile didn't move. "There is now. He asked us to put our phones in a basket. Said it was so nobody could film the drill and scare their parents. Most of us did it. Cole tried to keep his, and Mr. Aldridge crossed the room in about 3 steps and held out his hand until Cole gave it up. He was too fast for a man with a clipboard. That's when I started counting the things that were wrong. His visitor badge had our school's name spelled with 2 L's. His shoes weren't office shoes. They were heavy boots, clean like they'd never walked anywhere. And he kept glancing at the little window in the door, not like he was checking the hall, but like he was waiting for something to appear in it. Ms. Calloway moved to the front of the room and somehow ended up standing between him and Mara's desk. I don't think anyone else noticed. Mara was new. She'd transferred in after winter break and never once talked about why. "Sir," Ms. Calloway said, "the kids have a test next period. Maybe we finish the observation another day." Mr. Aldridge tilted his head. "You're nervous, Ms. Calloway." "I'm not. You keep stepping in front of that one." He pointed his pen at Mara without looking at her, and Mara went so pale I thought she might be sick. Ms. Calloway didn't move. "I don't know what you mean." That's when we heard the first siren. Far away, but real. Mr. Aldridge's whole face changed, the smile sliding off it like something melting. "Who called?" he said again, not a question now. He walked to the door and looked out the little window, and I watched his jaw go tight. More sirens. Closer. He turned back to the room and his eyes went straight to Mara. "Get your bag," he told her. "We're leaving. Your mother sent me." Mara didn't move. She whispered, "My mom doesn't know where I am," and Ms. Calloway stepped fully in front of her, so he'd have to go through her first. The intercom crackled. "Ms. Calloway," the principal's voice said, "is everything all right in there? The officers are in the building." Mr. Aldridge grabbed the door handle and it rattled. Locked from a deadbolt, he'd flipped himself when he came in, and now it was working against him. He yanked it twice. Through the window, I could see them coming down the hall, dark uniforms, moving fast. He spun around and looked at Mara like she was the only person in the room. "You were supposed to come quietly," he said. That's when the pieces clicked. The badge spelled wrong. The boots. The way Ms. Calloway had positioned herself the second he walked in that morning. She hadn't been letting him observe us. She'd recognized him. The door burst open, and they had him against the whiteboard before he finished turning. As they pulled his arms back, he was still talking, telling Mara her mother missed her, that this was all a misunderstanding, that he only wanted to see his daughter. An officer crouched down in front of Mara and said it soft. "You're safe now. There's an order that says he isn't allowed anywhere near you. Your teacher called us the second she saw his name on the sign-in sheet this morning. She kept you in this room on purpose." Mara started crying, the kind that doesn't make any sound. Ms. Calloway was shaking now that it was over, both hands gripping the edge of a desk like the floor might tilt. Mr. Aldridge looked back at us one more time from the doorway, that flat smile trying to climb back onto his face, and he asked the room the same thing he'd asked when it all started. "Which one of you called 911?" And Ms. Calloway stepped in front of Mara again and said, "I did."